YouTube was good. We back with another reaction. This video is called "How to Ruin Your Life in 11 Seconds." You know, it's a very unusual title. I think it has something to do with like eaters and leeches trying to like get NBA money and shit like that. I'm pretty sure this is based on like basketball players. So yeah, a little educational video too. You know, for my hoopers out there, you gotta keep your head straight. These bitches only want the money. I'm trying to tell you. Let's get into it. Why my shit not playing? I can't hear it in my headphones. Run it back. There you go. It's Virginia?
He tweeted that it's a lifelong dream for him to play in the NBA. Chance Comanche did announce today he will turn pro and not return to Arizona.
It's a blessing to just be in this position and given this opportunity. Help this team win a championship.
Okay.
That's always the goal, but taking one day at a time and giving the best I can. Give them my all.
Hey, that's the end goal.
Tonight, Chance Comanche appeared in court for the first time.
Former Stockton Kings basketball player just appeared in court for the very first time after being arrested in the strangling death of a woman.
Huh?
The 27-year-old waived his extradition to Nevada to face charges.
This is without a doubt
Wait.
one of the darkest stories that I believe I've ever covered. And it's truly sad because the conclusion of it is the loss of life and a person ruining his life.
They had that nigga in a
Details
cage.
are absolutely insane, and this
See a
video
menace?
is definitely going to get demonetized. So before
That's the first time I've seen something like that. He had him in a cage inside the courtroom.
Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro.
Okay. What? It's a fire intro. I ain't gonna jail you. Hold on. It's a fire intro.
Live in the Los Angeles area or around the Beverly Hills area, very close to where I actually
I'm trying to fuck
grew
with
up.
him.
You
Give me
may have
fucking
heard of an individual by
ads
the name
in the
of
fucking
Chance
video.
Comanche, a player that graduated
Chance
from Beverly
Comanche.
High in 2015 and was able to average 20 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game as a senior en route to a Southern
2016.
Section AAA title.
2016 and 4, that stuff.
Comanche leveraged his situation to go to U of A, in which he wasn't necessarily featured nearly as much. It seemed like the strategy altered significantly. Even though he played in 60 games for U of A, he only averaged about 4.9 points and 3 rebounds per game.
How the fuck they got
Now,
60 games
despite this,
in the high school
Chance
game?
would declare for the
High school
2017
season.
NBA draft, giving up his final 2 seasons of college
Am I tripping?
eligibility for the prospect of potentially making some money.
I'm pretty sure we ain't had no
Unfortunately
fucking
for
60
him,
games.
he wasn't
We ain't had no
necessarily
fucking 60
sought
games,
after
for
prospect.
sure.
He was undrafted, and he would do anything he possibly could to make it into the league. He wouldn't get invited to the summer league, so he would join the Drew League. And following that effort, in order to keep his basketball hopes and dreams alive, he would join the Memphis Hustle's G League team. And for the most part, this would be Chance Comanche's career. He would hop from the Memphis Hustle to the Canton Charge. Eventually, he would try different basketball leagues like the TBL, and he would even play overseas in the Turkish Basketball League. This is the reality for a lot of basketball
You trying to make it,
players
I
that
can't.
make it into the
hate.
NBA. It's not a bad way to make a living at all whatsoever. There's some individuals that make over 6 figures doing this per year, but this is the storyline of Chance Comanche. He would continue to hop from overseas.
Hey, man, if
back
you're
to
getting
the
paid
G League,
hooping,
and would
bro,
even get an
you blessed.
opportunity with the
It's a
Portland
fact.
Trailblazers. Even playing in an NBA
No
game
matter
where
how
he
much
scored
money it
7
is, you
points in 21
getting paid
minutes.
doing
And
something
then
you
he
want
would
to do.
return to where our story takes place, the Stockton Kings. You see, Chance Comanche would sign with the Sacramento Kings, he would get waived, and then he would join the Stockton Kings and would get waived by the Stockton Kings about a week ago. The reason why he got waived by the Stockton Kings
Move this shit out
was
of
a
him.
tragedy that took place and a horrific
Big man
decision that
move.
Chance Comanche
Good
made
pass.
that truly makes him a horrific human being. You see, typically these videos would feature me saying these are all allegations, but the thing is, in this particular instance, we get a
So
straight
far-
out confession of the horrible thing Chance did. On December 6th, Chance and his ex-girlfriend Sakari Hardenden were accused of ending the life of a young woman by the name of Miranda Serena Rogers. This took place when Chance was in the area for team activities, according to Las Vegas police. Now, according to this story, Rogers, who is a 23-year-old from Lakewood, Washington, traveled to Las Vegas on December 1st with a friend with the intent.
This is my first time ever hearing about this
that
shit,
same
man.
night, Herndon began seeking
It's crazy.
Chance's
I gotta be
help
safe out
after
there.
there were reported issues between her and Rogers. Both
You
Rogers
never know,
and
niggas
Herndon
be
both
on
work
that
in this
bullshit.
industry in the Las Vegas area, and they reportedly argued over a Rolex as Rogers threatened to smoke Herndon if she didn't give her the watch. And originally, Chance and his ex-girlfriend decided to end Rogers' life because they couldn't find a hitman that was willing to take on this job for $3,000. So yeah, very crazy, very wild, very dark story, and the details in which the story goes in is insane. For example, they discussed several ways to commit the act, which included poisoning, strangulation, and a firearm. And there are very incriminating group messages
they was planning this shit
as
out.
well. For example, Chance Comanche said that I can snap her neck or just strangle her, and he wrote this in a group message. They finally came up with an idea. If you get a nice little thick piece of rope
these
or
niggas
something
is
sturdy,
crazy.
this can be done from the back seat, kind of like how they do it in the movies. Herndon and Rogers also got into a altercation on December 4th after she allegedly implicated Rogers' boyfriend in a double murder in California, which led to the man's arrest. So apparently Comanche met this woman through a dating app about 1.5 years ago, and they broke up after a few months of dating, but they kept in touch following their breakup. So what would end up happening is Rogers would get lured by Comanche.
Like, how you,
promised her
bro, you at the top, you almost there, dog. Like, you getting paid to ball.
According to text messages that were released to the public.
Bro, it's not
On
that
December
serious,
4th,
dog.
Comanche had checked into the Embers.
Okay, the cage is in,
Henderson,
is
Nevada,
towards
with the
another fucking
Kings
room.
as they were playing a game the next night.
I was about to say, I thought he got
Center.
a separate
Following the
cage
Kings
for
game,
himself, like they
Comanche
moved the
made
cage
his way
inside.
back to his hotel with the team before he went back outside and got into Herndon's car, and they drove to meet Rogers. So Comanche was there on team business, and he left to go meet with Rogers and Herndon to do the act. So after purchasing alcohol, the trio drove to a cul-de-sac near the former house of Comanche's friend, where they had originally planned to commit the act. Herndon had explained to Rogers that Comanche was the client and was going to pay them for their services, with her also explaining that Comanche was into kinky acts and wanted to tie them both up before they engaged in the acts. Rogers agreed and then began removing her clothes. Herndon removed her clothing as well and climbed over the center console and got on top of Rogers' lap, before adding that Comanche had grabbed a bag of plastic zip ties that were already in the car and handed two to Sakari. Rogers willingly had her wrists tied together before Comanche wrapped a cord around her neck, while Herndon, still straddling Rogers, placed her hands on
That's
the
fucked up.
defenseless
That's fucked up.
woman's
That's fucked up.
neck.
That's fucked up. That's
Comanche
fucked
told
up.
police that he used
That's
the
fucked up.
HDMI cord to choke Rogers for 10 seconds and stopped when he heard the victim struggling to breathe.
HDMI cord?
Continued. Rogers then became unresponsive. Comanche and Herndon then checked her pulse to determine if she was gone when they saw fluid coming out of Rogers' mouth. The pair then pulled over the side of a road in Henderson, Nevada, and then dumped Rogers' body in a ditch before covering the body with rocks. Comanche even confessed to the police that he used a towel to pick up the rocks to avoid getting his DNA on them, and the accused smashed Rogers' phone and drove back to the team hotel, where they stayed until Comanche left with the team around 8:50 a.m. So this is really recent, and oh my god, this is so gruesome. But Comanche and Herndon remained in contact after the act, with police believing the former king was coaching Herndon through how to talk to law enforcement, saying calmly answer them. They
See, that's why I don't like that shit. You ain't tying me up.
The post-game interview, just smile and wave.
No.
That is insanity.
What are you talking about?
I mean, the fact that he's drawing this parallel to like him
kinky
in
shit
the
over here.
basketball game is crazy to me. It's like, yeah, you know, you already did the act. You know, just this is the post-game interview. Just walk the police through, and we could get out of this scot-free. Which also gives the idea that Comanche has done crazy stuff like this before, possibly. Now, Comanche would play in another game with the Kings in Portland on
Just his
December
first time getting
2nd.
caught.
After the incident, detectives found Rogers' body in the ditch on December
we gotta
15th.
Oh.
Pointed to the the location on a map during his interview. Harnden was arrested
Oh,
on
you need
December 15th
self-snitching.
and charged with felony first-degree kidnapping and felony theft for allegedly stealing a Rolex valued between $5,000 and $25,000. And Comanche was arrested on a first-degree kidnapping charge on December 15th. The Kings confirmed to the Post that Comanche was released from the organization but declined further comment. On Monday, a criminal complaint was filed in Las Vegas, court charging both Comanche and Harnden with open murder and conspiracy to
W's
commit
came
murder
as far as
felonies.
like
They both made initial
W.
court appearances on Tuesday. This entire situation is mind-boggling to me. I mean, what I'm trying to figure out is why Comanche would get involved in this to begin with.
I'm trying to say,
assuming
though,
they were planning on getting the Rolex and selling the Rolex and maybe splitting the difference.
So this nigga
Maybe
risked it
that
all
was
for a
what he was
Rolex.
going for. But if you really think about it, this man literally risked it all for potentially $2,500.
I'm
This
trying.
man went out and
I'm trying to say
assisted in ending another woman's
for
life for
$25,000 in hoops.
$2,500. To give you an idea, on average, a G League player makes about
Talk to
$40K
me.
a year. Now, if you play overseas, of course, you could pair that and you could boost that number up to maybe 80 to 100K, depending on how good you are. And not
Okay.
that any amount of money would rationalize this type of behavior, but to go through these obstacles,
100K
literally
a
risk
year
the
is
rest
really
of your
not.
life,
It's a
to
lot,
end
but
another
you know.
person's life, to give up your career, which is playing basketball for a living, which is a pretty sweet career. I mean, this man has a highlight of blocking Jordan Poole, for crying out loud, and to give all of that up.
Oh, this is
just to
recent.
potentially
Yeah,
make
he made this video 4 weeks ago.
$2,500 is by far one of the stupidest decisions I think I have ever seen a human being make. And this is me just taking the morality aside. There is not a single world where you can rationalize ending this poor woman's life. There is no excuse for ever doing something this despicable. But that's all it took to convince you that this was the right decision for you in
Nah,
your
this
life?
nigga is sad and pathetic.
$2,500? I mean, this guy is beyond stupid. This is by far one of the most idiotic acts I think I've ever seen a human being do. Obviously, he's probably getting a plea deal here, and that's why he
Ain't no fucking plea deal. Throw the book at that nigga.
That went down, but man, I can't even believe
Throw the book at that
this
nigga,
is
man.
something that he entertained to begin with, because it's official. He ruined his life. His life is over, or at the very
Over.
minimum,
Most definitely over.
severely damaged. I don't see a world where he doesn't get 25 to life. So let me know in the comment section down below what you
Hey man, it's a great fucking video. Great it's sad as fuck, but you know, cool little reaction that we did. This is my last reaction of the day. I ain't gonna do too much today. Posted like 5 videos just to let those cook up for a little bit. If you came this far, like, subscribe, and we out.